The 2025 NFL trade deadline wasn't just another Tuesday, it was a legal touring earthquake. We're not talking about depth pieces or backup quarterbacks being shuffled around. We're talking about franchise cornerstones, all-pro talents, getting packed up and shipped out in a series of moves that left the entire NFL world stunned and at the epicenter of it all. Two teams on completely opposite trajectories, the New York Jets hitting the big red reset button thing, and the Dallas Cowboys pushing all their chips into the middle of the table. Today, we're breaking down one of the wildest trade deadlines in recent memory. Who won, who lost, and how will these blockbuster deals reshape the rest of the season and beyond? Let's get into it. First, let's set the stage. Coming into 2025, the Jets had sky-high hopes. They had their young quarterback, they'd paid their foundational stars, and they boasted a defense built around elite homegrown talent. But the reality on the field was brutal. The losses started piling up, the offense sputtered, and the patience in that building was wearing dangerously thin. It was a classic case of a season spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, it was the same old story, just a different side of the ball. The Cowboys' offense, elite. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb were lighting up scoreboards every single Sunday, but their defense, it was a complete disaster. We're talking bottom of the barrel, ranked 31st in both points allowed and total yards. You simply cannot win a championship with a defense that porous. The stage was set for something drastic. One team looking to tear it down, another desperate to build it up. And then, on November 4th, the bombshells dropped. The Jets executed not one, but two seismic, franchise-altering trades in a single afternoon. First, they sent all-pro cornerback Sauce Gardner, one of the best cover corners in the entire league, to the Indianapolis Colts. In return, they got a treasure chest, 2 first-round picks in 2026 and 2027, plus the promising young receiver Odene Mitchell. If you thought that was shocking, they were just getting started. Later that same day, they shipped 3-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys. The haul for Williams was another massive injection of future assets, a 2026 second-round pick, a conditional 2027 first-rounders, typically the better of Dallas's 2 first-round picks that year and defensive tackle Mazi Smith. Let's be clear, these weren't just trades. This was a full-blown demolition and rebuild, executed in the span of a few hours, trading 2 elite defenders, both in their prime, on the same day. It's almost unprecedented. So, what on earth was the Jets front office thinking? On the surface, it looks like madness. You just don't trade away young top-tier talent like Gardner and Williams. But when you dig a little deeper, the logic starts to emerge. Gardner had just signed a massive market-setting contract extension. Williams was heading into a huge contract year and was about to demand a similar payday. The Jets front office looked at their losing record, looked at the future salary cap implications, and made a cold, hard calculation. They decided that this incredible haul of draft picks 3 first-rounders in the next 2 years alone was more valuable to a losing team than keeping expensive stars on the roster. They accepted the pain of today for the promise of a brighter tomorrow. It was a pivot to asset accumulation, pure and simple. Now, let's flip over to Dallas. The Cowboys were operating from a place of pure, unadulterated desperation. As I said, their defense was historically bad. For them, adding a disruptive force like Quinnen Williams wasn't just a move. It was a statement. It was Jerry Jones saying, "We're not just trying to make the playoffs. We are going for the whole thing, right now." But the risk is enormous. They mortgaged a significant chunk of their future, giving up prime draft capital, including that valuable conditional first-rounder. They are betting everything on the idea that Williams still has several elite years left in the tank and can single-handedly transform their defensive front from a weakness into a strength. Whether this gamble pays off will likely determine if their Super Bowl window stays open or slams shut for good. The immediate ripple effects were felt across the league. The Colts, by adding Sauce Gardner, instantly became legitimate contenders in the AFC South. Their defense just went from good to potentially great. The Cowboys plugged a massive hole, hoping to stop the defensive bleeding. And the Jets? Well, They officially entered full-on rebuild mode, turning their attention to the 2026 draft. When we talk about winners and losers, the picture starts to become clearer. On paper, the clear winner of the deadline is the New York Jets. They walked away with an unprecedented amount of high-value draft capital. They now have the flexibility to trade for a quarterback, move around the draft board, or simply rebuild through an infusion of young, cheap talent. It's a masterclass in asset management for a team going nowhere fast. The Indianapolis Colts are also big winners here. They were aggressive and got their man, adding a lockdown corner to a team that was already on the rise. They paid a high price, but for a team on the verge of contention, it's a move you have to make. And the Cowboys? They land in the question mark category. Yes, they acquired a fantastic player who fills their biggest need, but that cost was steep. If Quinnen Williams comes in, dominates, and leads them on a deep playoff run, then it was all worth it. Verds, if he struggles to integrate, or if his impact isn't enough to fix that defense, the price they paid could haunt their franchise for years to come. So, what should you, the fans and fantasy players, be watching for the rest of this season? First, how quickly does Quinnen Williams get up to speed in Dallas? Can he be the game wrecker they desperately need right away? Second, keep an eye on Sauce Gardner in Indianapolis. Does he continue his all-pro level of play and justify the massive price the Colts paid for him? And for the Jets, the real story begins next April. How will they use all those picks? Will they package them to move up for a franchise quarterback? Will they draft a new set of cornerstones? The possibilities are endless. Ultimately, the 2025 NFL trade deadline will be remembered for the sheer boldness of the moves. The Cowboys went all in on the present, signaling that anything less than a Super Bowl this year is a failure. The Jets, on the other hand, made a painful but necessary decision to tear it all down and rebuild for the future. Both are massive gambles. Both will be judged not by the headlines today, but by the wins, losses, and legacies they create in the years to come. The ripple effects are just beginning, and every game from here on out just got a whole lot more interesting. What do you think? Did the Jets make the right move? Did the Cowboys pay too much? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL analysis. I'll see you in the next one.